What's going on, gearheads? Welcome back to the garage. Got another video for you today, although today we are working on something a little different. Not something we probably normally work on in the garage here. We mostly do a lot of LS LT V8 stuff, but my girlfriend's car has been having a little bit of problems recently, check engine light and stuff. So we got it here in the garage, taking a look at what's going on. And you notice here we got the engine bay all lit up. I just got this new under the hood light. Came from Amazon. It was a Christmas present, actually, something my mom got for me, which is pretty cool. I really needed some type of under the hood light instead of, you guys have seen a lot of my other videos. I have the little clamp lights, which are pretty terrible to work with under the hood. So this one's pretty sweet. It even detaches from the telescoping pole. So you can like unclip it from here, and then it also comes with some additional adapters. So you can actually, these are magnetic, so you can take it off the telescoping bar and then use the magnet clips to hold it up. And it has some other types of clips as well, which makes it pretty versatile. And it doesn't need to be plugged in all the time. It does have a battery that can last up to 6 hours in low mode and 3 hours in the high mode, which is pretty cool. We're just testing it out today, and I think so far it looks pretty good. I like the way it illuminates the engine, and you can kind of adjust the angle of the light. There's the LED strip. Right now I think we have it on high. Yeah, so that's high. This is low. Not honestly all that much dimmer on low. I think I might just leave it on low. So, or maybe the 2 is low and the 1 is high, because it does actually seem brighter on the 1. Much clearer engine bay picture. Anyway, this thing's pretty sweet. I'm pretty stoked about it. And so I have the car hooked up to the scanner right now. This is just my HP Tuner software. The scanner open. This is all the codes. So manifold pressure, system 2 lean, idle air control, and the mass airflow sensor, all reading kind of erratic. And then when we start the car, we get this whistling noise coming from under the valve cover. And also, if you look at the data logger here, the fuel trims, basically long term, short term, are just like totally pegged out. I gotta reconnect now that we keyed off, or keyed on, starting the vehicle. So you'll see here where long-term fuel trim's 35%, short-term is like, it's dropping now, depending on when it leaks or not. But you can see the idle is also erratic. It's kind of hunting around. And the fuel trim's 34% long-term, 14% short-term. Now it's going up 19, 17. So more than likely it's vacuum leak related. So I noticed here, if you lift this little cover up, you can see the engine's shaking because it's misfiring. This little PCV valve here that's attached to the valve cover, it's sucking air. So it's causing basically unaccounted air to be drawn into the engine's intake that's not seen by the map sensor or the MAP sensor. So therefore the engine's technically running lean, so it's going to compensate that with the fuel trims by pumping extra fuel in to get the ratio back in spec. And so that's why it's throwing all those sensors out of whack. That's why the idle controller can't keep the idle maintained, and it's just running rough. So on this car, basically you have to change the whole valve cover out, because that piece is integrated into the valve cover. It's molded in the plastic. So we got a new valve cover from GM. It was just there last night, picked this up after work. This ran us just under $100, is $94 with tax. This is the new OEM GM one. It's supposed to have the gasket already with it and everything, so this should just be a direct swap bolt-on. So we'll go ahead and shut the car back off. We'll let the fan cool everything down, and then we'll get started on disassembly. All right. We got most of it cleaned up. I did the spark plug holes like I was telling you with the towel, a little bit of brake clean, blew everything out, nice and clean now. And I cleaned the deck surface here with just blue shop towels. So they're pretty much like lint free. They don't really leave a lot of debris behind. And then the only spot I got to clean up now is the little the joint between basically, like, I guess you could say, the cylinder head and where kind of the timing chain and the timing set, the assembly, I guess is bolted up. Maybe that's a separate section on this because it probably has the variable valve timing built in. I'm guessing that's what this stuff is here. So I'm just going to use one of my favorite, probably gasket prep surface tools, this carbide scraper. So it's something I also got on Amazon. Comes in a 2-pack and basically just has like a squared up carbide edge. It's probably hard for the camera to focus on that, but it's super good for scraping gasket surfaces. Really like these tools. I'll leave you a link in the description below if you want to pick up a set. I think they're around 20 or 30 bucks, but definitely worth the money. Best scrapers I've ever used. Alright, engine's fired up. So far no more squeaking, weird hissing noise. Engine seems to be idling a lot smoother also, so that's good, but we'll let it get some temperature in it because the problem came up more so when the engine was hot. It would idle okay before cold too. And let's go ahead and run a quick little data log. So right now our long-term fuel trims are 0 because I reset them. I just did a disconnect on the battery for maybe 30 seconds, a minute, and that should reset the computer to try and relearn that stuff all over again. And our short-term trims are pretty close to 0, a -2, a 3. So that's pretty good right there. That means everything should be running normally. We did a reset on the check engine light, but that also wouldn't come back on until we complete a drive cycle, even if there was an issue. And sounds like it's running pretty smooth. So yeah, I think we nailed it. We'll take this baby for a little cruise, make sure everything's okay. All right guys, thanks for watching. I think that about wraps this one up. Looks like we got the problem figured out. Although we'll probably have to drive the car, complete a drive cycle, make sure none of the check engine lights come back on. But seeing those fuel trims where they're at, I think that was the problem with the vehicle. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and definitely stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. You can keep up with all the projects we're doing here in the garage. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.